Okay, I've asked Beto and Flavia to tell a story, how they met and how Carlos and Fernanda met. And this is a story I've heard before, and it's real, in my mind, really special. I wanted Bill and Jeremy to hear the story. I'll call this story El Lobo, the wolf. Anyway, in honor of Carlos, my friend. All right, so I'll turn it over to you.
Well, first of all, let me tell you something. This guy here today, I can tell you that he is my best friend. He's a kind of pastor in my life, and I thank God because of him.
Amen.
But, well, it was so different on the beginning, you know. Well, I grew up in a Christian family, and my wife and her sister grew up in a Christian family too. And well, few years ago, not few years, but well, some years ago, I started dating, engaging, and with my wife. And well, when you started engaging with your woman, you enter the family, you know. And well, one day, Fernanda, this incredible girl here, arrived at home and explained to her sisters and her parents that she started dating with a new guy. And the first question was, how about this guy? What is the church that this guy used to go? And, well, he is not a believer, you know. Well, at that time, I didn't agree with that, and her family disagreed as the same. But she started dating with him, but he wasn't a believer, and to me, he was not a good guy. You know, he was not a good guy. I don't want to tell all of the things because I don't want to make fun of him. But he started to go to Fernanda's house sometimes, and I really didn't like him. But something very interesting happened. Fernanda, like the prodigal son, one day, oh, I am wrong. And then she decided to break up the relationship with him. And she said to him, it's not going to work very well. You are not a believer, and I'm not happy, and it's not going to work. And he didn't understand at that time. Why? Well, then after that, he decided to fight, to start a relationship again. And then he decided to start going to the church, and he decided to always be a great guy in our meetings. He helped everyone, and I at that time I understood. He really wants to catch her. He's a wolf. He's a wolf dressed as a sheep. And then he understood. Well, she wants a believer. She wants a great guy. I know how to do that, and I will catch her. And yes. And then he started to ask us about the Bible, the stories, and then on the family, always helping people, everyone. And I thought, oh my God, open the eyes of Fernanda. She needs to see that this guy, he's a wolf. He just wants to catch her. And I thought that thinking for a long time, because he asked her to get married with him. And listen, he asked the leadership of our church. At that time, I was an elder. He asked, I want to become a member before my marriage, because I want to marry her as a believer. And I said, oh. He's going to catch her, and I am almost sure that he will hurt her a lot. Because after the wedding, maybe the wolf will appear, you know. Well, and then it happened. They became a member of our church, and it was something very interesting, because the leadership asked me to help him in his doubts about the faith, asked me to teach him more about the Bible, for him became a member of our church. And we had some times of conversation, Bible conversations. And then, well, we started a social relationship. You know, in family, a lot of time you need to have social relationships, even if you don't like very well someone. And then after that, he was baptized. He became a member of our church, and he got married.
Did you think he was sincere at the time?
No. No. I can really say that I was very concerned about that. I thought that he would hurt her a lot, because he was he fell in love with her. She broke with him because of the faith, and then he started to walk with Jesus to start again the relationship. So to me, it's a human plane to stay with his beloved girl, you know. Well, and then after that, he went to the church. He used to be a great guy of the church, always helping everyone. If someone was carrying a heavy bag, he always went, let me help you. And I always saw that. Oh my God, it's not good. It's not natural. in Fernanda's house, her parents' house, after the breakfast and lunch, he always said, let me wash the dishes. And oh my God, What a plan. He want to get up everyone but not me. I understand. Well, something interesting happened when I was planning to go to a conference in São Paulo, and I was supposed to go with another elder of our church, and maybe a week or 10 days before the conference, I was on his house on a family meeting, and then I really don't know why. I asked him, well, I'm going to the field conference with Expedito, another elder, and do you like to go with us? But at that time, she worked in a bank, and you can't stop to work for a week to go to a conference 2 weeks later. It's not normal. And he answered, well, I will see my job, and maybe I can go with you. Oh, okay. And then I don't know. Next day, maybe he called me and said, I can go with you. Okay, go. Yes. Okay, go. Well, let's go. At that time, I didn't have a lot of trouble with him because he was a great guy at that moment too. But I am always afraid that one day maybe he will go back to the old behavior. Yes, that was my concern. And then we went to the conference. So we traveled in the same car for almost 1,000 kilometers, and you need to increase your relationship. And then we went there, and I saw that nobody could lie for a long time, and so far from the family as he was a true believer as I could saw. Nobody could do that. In our room, in our conference, he didn't lost. He didn't lose. He didn't lose just a minute of each preaching, and he became like a sun shining after the preachings, and he always after the preachings he always stayed with me and Expedito talking about the Bible, and I could saw something very different at that time, and I could understand that I was the sinner, I was the judge, I was as a true believer since the childhood. I saw that I was a judge, and I saw that God really reached him in a special way. And that week, and you were there, Bob Dick was a special hand of God to work in our lives, but in his life in a special way. And we went back from that conference to Brasilia with a great different relationship. And he started to study the Reformed books, to listen the biblical and faithful preaching, And this guy turned from that kind of wolf that I said to another kind of wolf. The wolf that I learned in a book named Living for Jesus. Do you know the kind of wolf all of we need to be? We need to be like an acrostic wolf. We need to worship, obey, love, and follow Jesus Christ. This is the guy that today is the acrostic wolf. And he became a kind of pastor of our lives and a great friend of mine, my best friend. And it was an amazing story that happened. And now I am afraid that Fernanda hurt his heart. No.
Turn it off. I want to. That sounds.